We'll make a little short one this morning. The crime scene in Houston, Texas. The crime scene in Dallas and San Antonio. And in the counties all around those metropolitan areas reveal that what Joanna Herring King and James Baker III and the Bushes and the Clintons, let's get this perfectly clear. The Clintons were operating out of the Houstonian estates with Big H, and that's just the historical record of it. They can't hide it. The amazing relationships between Adnan Khashoggi and the Trumps, Adnan Khashoggi and the Clintons, Adnan Khashoggi and the Bushes, reveal one thing: that the giant banking fiasco that nobody can deny, the gargantuan savings and loan fiasco that nobody can deny, the unbelievable looting of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and the FHA and HUD, and the list just goes on and on and on into the financial institutions and the financial agencies that have been bailed out over and over and over again, directly connected to all this real estate nonsense. Now, I watched Renee Powers and William Wagner broadcast from the courthouse there yesterday, I guess in Los Angeles, and discussing the class action for criminal action against the big banks. Every bit of what they're discussing, every single bit of what Renee Powers is discussing, is connected to the great bank robbery, to the story of Peter Burns in the LA Times that was written back in the 80s and followed through in the 90s, of how Bank of America robbed California for billions upon billions of dollars in Bank of America's banking schemes. It's easy to find the story, The Great Bank Robbery. It's part of my Toxic Zombie Development series and my writings on the paper land con, the falsified records and falsified MERS registrations and all the falsified papers that go along with real estate scheming and scamming. The gargantuan looting and robbery of the American financial system. Ask Donald Trump about it. Ask Bill and Hillary Clinton about it. Ask the Bushes about it. Ask Elizabeth Warren. Ask Bernie Sanders. Ask the justices of the U.S. Supreme Court. Ask the justices of every major federal district court in the nation about how the national banking system has been looted and robbed for so much money. It's absolutely mind-boggling. It staggers the mind, the level of thievery that's caused every major, every minor, and all the median-sized banks in America to be bailed out more than once, several times actually, since the 1970s and 80s. The unimaginable robbery of America, and nobody can deny it. I mean, Kenneth Starr and Robert Mueller and Jimmy Comey and Louis Freeh and Alberto Gonzales, the list of U.S. Attorney Generals like Eric Holder and Loretta Lynch and our current Jeff Sessions, they can't lie about it anymore. The entire nation has been robbed for so much money, it's absolutely mind-bending. And the interesting thing about all these thefts, all these financial institution robberies, is start tracking the money to the politicians. Start tracking the money to the campaigns. Now, you want to talk about a campaign finance scandal, we can do it. We can get deeply into it instantaneously. Mr. Sessions and Mr. Pence and Mr. Trump. Donald Trump knows that this tape is no joke. And there's more and more and more people across the world, around the world, that know that from Greece and Turkey, they even robbed the banking system in Greece, Iceland, England, Ireland was hugely hit with these real estate schemes and scams. Australia, how about that one, Renee Powers? Australia, it went on down there. These gargantuan mortgage schemes. I mean, Select Portfolio Services is just one little one. Taylor, Bean and Whitaker, just one little one. And all just by coincidence now, directly connected to the Central Intelligence Agency. John C. McCone and the Western banks. Fascinating connection. The Western banks, 1300 Main Street, Houston, Texas. The bank out there at Galleria. They had bank at Kirkwood. They had several bank sub-offices around Houston, Texas. Wilkshire, I guess there was one at Wilkshire, and there was one up on the East Tex Freeway, 59 at the 610 loop. The Western banks of Zurich and Zug, Switzerland. Oh, they also operated out of